Okay, so this is the lymphatic system. So you should know that there's some different tonsils. The one that would be on the palate would be the palatine tonsil. So think palatine, palatine bone, hard palate, think of those things. So that's a palatine tonsil. There is something called a lingual tonsil, which would be at the tongue. So you don't, it doesn't have it on this picture. You have a pharyngeal tonsil, which would be in the back of the throat. When you have lymph nodes, so the lymph nodes are a collection of areas that clean the lymph or the liquid that runs through lymph vessels. So this area is, remember where you have cervical vertebrae? So this would be your cervical lymph nodes here, where the doctor feels when you feel like you have a sore throat. When you go under your arms, you have axillary lymph nodes. It says node, it just says axillary node, but they're axillary lymph nodes. And then down here in the inguinal region, you have inguinal lymph nodes down here. So those are the 3 lymph nodes you definitely should know. You have something called the thoracic duct. Here it is right here, the thoracic duct. And you have the right lymphatic duct right here. And I'll flip over the page in a second. Now remember, this is the brachiocephalic vein, and they're dumping the lymph directly back into the blood. And then here you have your right thoracic duct, your left thoracic duct dumping right in here. Now, all these little lines are lymphatic vessels, like blood vessels, but instead of carrying blood, they carry lymph. Very important in the lymphatic system is your spleen. That helps to clean things out. That's why sometimes it gets swollen when someone has a really bad infection. The thymus sits right on top of the heart, but it's not right here. You can't see it because she's a grown person, and it's usually the largest in an infant or a toddler, so then it gets smaller as you get older. So those are the 2 major ones that you need to know. When I flip over the page, you can see here, so they have the superior vena cava, and you can see brachiocephalic veins here, but you can also see right where the right lymphatic duct is going to dump right in here. So all the liquid that came out of the blood and now needs to put back into the blood by the lymph system goes right in here. And then the other one, the left lymphatic duct, also known as the thoracic duct, dumps right into here. So it's usually right where the internal jugular and the brachiocephalic meet. Okay, so the same thing here. And so all of this green stuff is sending stuff up. So this is the thoracic duct, or they call it the left lymphatic duct here. And so it's all dumping in here. By the way, also here you have something azygous vein. This is the azygous vein that runs all the way up here as well. Okay? When you come down here, they really just isolated it. So you can see the superior vena cava, right brachiocephalic vein, left brachiocephalic vein, right and left internal jugular, subclavian. So all the way from here, you can see the thoracic duct or left lymphatic duct dumps all the liquid back into the blood. Here is the right lymphatic duct dumping blood into here. Now if you come all the way up here, this is what happens. You have blood that comes from the artery. They go into the capillaries, and some liquid leaks out. Not red blood cells, but just liquid like plasma. And then some of the liquid comes back, but some of it doesn't, stays in between, and then you have the veins send it back to the blood, into the heart. But some of this stuff is sitting around here in between these cells. So this green thing is a vacuum cleaner that sucks up the liquid and prevent edema, or we call it lymphedema, when you have too much interstitial fluid between the cells. And it pulls it all the way back up and again back into the brachiocephalic veins.